Alrighty then. Well, welcome. It's time for math with Mrs. Sissel. And today we're looking at math in cooking. That's right, math is everywhere. So come on, my falcons, let's look at a couple of different ways we can see math in cooking. So we got the holidays coming up near, and some of us are planning our meals already. So it doesn't matter. You may be having every single person in your family over. You're going to have a house full. Or due to COVID, some of us may be having just a dinner for two. And that's okay. We can take a regular recipe and we can either increase or decrease. So grab your chef's hat and your math notebook and let's get going. So we're going to look today, if you have a large gathering, I'm going to show you a vanilla cake recipe, and it makes 24 cupcakes. But you're like, oh my gosh, 12 cupcakes, that'll feed my, or 24 cupcakes, that'll feed my family. But I'm going to have everybody over. I need like 72 cupcakes at least. Well, that means that we're going to triple the recipe, because 24 times 3 is 72. So we take each of our individual ingredients and we are going to have to multiply by 3. Now I have to tell you, making the recipe bigger is definitely much easier than the next thing we're going to do, which is shrink it. So, taking your recipe, we've got 2 sticks of butter. Well, times 3, that means we need 6 sticks of butter. 2 cups of flour times 3, we need 6 cups of flour. So far easy, right? 1 tablespoon times 3 is 3 tablespoons of baking powder. Now here's where everybody just their brain goes crazy because it's a fraction. Okay? It's okay. Fractions can be multiplied as well. Because if you take that 3 and turn it into a fraction, it's 3 on the top and 1 on the bottom. Then you just multiply straight across. So 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, so we have 3 halves, which is really 1 whole and a half. So it's 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Again, with the sugar, we have 1.25 cups of sugar in our regular one. So we're going to have to multiply by 3. And so times 3 is 3 3/4. When you change it to an improper fraction, it becomes 5 over 4. And 5 times 3 is 15, so 15/4. That is 3 3/4. Not difficult. Next one's really easy. 4 eggs times 3. We need a whole dozen eggs. And then 1 tablespoon of vanilla, again, is times 3. 3 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And then 1.25 cup of milk. Don't fret, don't panic, don't freak out. We already did this math one on the sugar, so it's the same thing. It's 3 3/4 cups of milk. So if you just increase each individual thing and then bake like regular, you're going to get 72 yummylicious vanilla cupcakes. And then you can just frost them all fancy and decorate them, and everybody will be happy, and you don't have to worry about anyone because they'll all be full of your yummylicious vanilla cupcakes. Now, that's if you have a big family gathering, okay? But right now, some people are being extra careful because they need to. You know, COVID is serious. And some people just don't really have any family, so it's just them. That's me and Mr. Sissel. It's just us. All my family's in Michigan. All his family's in Iowa, so we don't get to see anybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this same recipe for 24 cupcakes, but since it's just the 2 of us, I'm going to make it 4 cupcakes. And I know a lot of you are saying, what? You cannot do that. Just make 24 cupcakes. Look, I have diabetes. Mr. Sissel has diabetes. We do not need 24 cupcakes because what will happen is I will eat 12 cupcakes and he will eat 12 cupcakes. We have no self-control when it comes to yummylicious sweet stuff some days. So it's better if I just make 4 cupcakes. But that means I have to take my regular recipe and I have to apply some math. Yes, I know division is awful scary. Now notice on some of these, I have given some extra information, okay? Because it's going to make our division much easier. Because we're going to go from 24 to 4. That means I need to divide by 6. Not an easy number to divide by sometimes. I could have divided by 4 and had 6 cupcakes, but I don't need 3 cupcakes. 2 is plenty. So, I have 2 sticks of butter that I need to divide by 6. Well, I look at this and I say, well, 2 sticks of butter is equal to 1 cup of butter. So that means I just need 1 cup divided by 6. It's 1/6 of a cup of butter. I can do that, okay, because that's 1/2 of a third, so I can do that. Now 2 cups of flour, we can divide that by 6, and that gives us 1/3 of a cup of flour. And if you don't understand how I got that, you need to check with your 6th grade student or any middle school student, and they can teach you how to keep, change, flip if we need to, because you can turn these into fractions. 2 over 1 divided by 6 over 1, then you have to keep, change, flip, multiply across, and you get 1/3. Hey! Alrighty then. Now, here's the next one. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We need to divide that by 6, so it's 1/6 of a tablespoon of baking powder. At this point, you know, in real life, they don't really make 1/6 tablespoons, so you're going to have to kind of finesse it with your half. So the next thing is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you know that in real life, if you have just a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and you want to divide that into 6, it's just really a pinch of salt. But for math purposes, 1/2 divided by 6 is going to be 1/12. 1/12 of a teaspoon of salt. That's just really a pinch of salt. But that's okay. Now, 1 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, I could try to divide 1 1/4 cups by 6, and I'll get some weird thing like 5/24. But, okay, I don't really have a 24th of a cup kind of measurement. So what I did was I looked at it and I said, well, 1 cup is 8 ounces. So a 1.25 cups is 10 ounces. So I'm going to divide 10 ounces by 6. And that gives me 1 2/3 ounces of sugar. Remember, we're making just 2 cupcakes, so we're not going to have a big giant bowl of batter. So yeah, 1 2/3 ounces. So there's 8 ounces in a cup, so just a little bit over that 1 ounce, 1/8 of a cup, a little bit more, okay? Almost 1/4 cup. Now, 4 eggs in our full recipe. If you use large eggs, 4 eggs is about 1 cup of egg stuff. So, if you just take 1 egg, crack it open, and then take 1/6 of a cup of that egg, you're good to go. Okay? And then, of course, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. We need 1/6 of a tablespoon, so less than a half, about 1/3 of a half. Again, we're getting into shaky territory with guessing. 1 1/4 cup of milk, again, 10 ounces, divide that by 6, and you have 1 2/3 ounces, so a little less than 1/4 cup. Not bad. So this is going to give us 4 cupcakes. Bake it like regular, and now Mr. Cecil and I can indulge in our sweet dessert without feeling guilty because we will only eat 2 cupcakes each instead of 12. All right? Math is everywhere, people. It is. Look at that. Peekaboo. Math is everywhere. There's no place that you can go that math does not go. You will find it wherever you are. Do not panic when you see math. It's okay. It's part of life. Makes us all happy. And here's Mrs. Cecil wishing you all a safe holiday gathering. I want everyone to be thankful. And just join us next time when I'm going to show you the magic of the metric system. Because all this baking and cooking is much, much easier if we would just switch to the magical metric system. Have a great time. Thank you all for joining me. And I will see you again soon.